So it is top of the round. We have one combat round underneath our belts. Back to the top of the initiative order, which puts it at Pedwin.
Let me double check Dust Devil.
Interesting.
Okay, it's any creature.
Are you planning on Dust Deviling me?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure you're about to get Dust Devil.
Yeah.
How dusty is the room?
The floor is dirt. There is dust everywhere.
Excellent. I'm gonna go ahead and Dust Devil on top of Big Mo.
All right. Can you ping where exactly you want it to be?
In
What?
between Big Mo and the guy north of him.
Okay.
What type of damage is Dust Devil?
Magical damage. It's dust damage.
I'm just trying to figure out if my rage reduces it.
Bludgeoning.
Is it bludgeoning?
Yep.
Sweet.
All right, cast it.
Oh, let me.
Wait, is Dust Devil... How many spell slots do you have at your level?
Dust Devil's level 2.
Okay, and I know in the fight
I've
with...
only used one level 2 spell today. And I have
Right,
3 slots.
You have how many slots at level 2?
Three
What?
level 2 spells.
You have 3 level 2 slots at level 4?
Yeah.
Fucking wizards, man. All right. But you...
I would hope they can use magic.
Well, no, I'm surprised. Like, it makes sense because wizards are like the heaviest spellcasters in the game. You used most of your level 1 slots in the fight with the plant monster, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those were all your catapults. Okay, cool.
That's my best drawing of a Dust Devil. Hope you guys like it because I can't seem to select it. Oops, I'm moving myself.
I'll try and deal with it later.
No, I can select it and delete it.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Any creature that ends a turn with...
Do you want me to delete it?
Well, no, it's fine. I don't care. Okay,
Oh
so
my goodness
everything in that
me.
area has to make a strength saving throw or be pushed 10 feet away from the center of the spell?
Yep.
Oh.
And
We all
where's
have-
the well, it's technically at the end of their turn.
At the end of their turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Steve-O, I'm gonna make you re-roll that because you rolled when you weren't supposed to.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it ends its turn. Oh, so it doesn't matter if they start or... Yeah, so it doesn't matter if you cast them and like they're in the vicinity when you cast it. It's only at the end of their turn.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make a run for the adamantine. Where is it?
The adamantine right now is basically right on top of your spell. It's in between Big Mo and the Dragonborn.
Oh.
They were just standing there?
Yeah, it's like it's all kind of... See, so when you walked in, from what you can gather, the Dragonborn was bringing his haul to this crooked-nosed old guy, or well, middle-aged guy, and then you stumbled in your supposedly drunken stupor.
I'm gonna run. I'm gonna try and walk in, so I'm still obscured by the Dust Devil. Somewhat. I want to get within, I said, 10 feet ish of the adamantine.
You want to get within 10 feet of the adamantine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, make it 15.
Okay. Let's see. It's a 5-foot cube.
You
All right,
realize
so
the
5
room's
feet.
really small, right?
I'm just trying to measure the. Oh, 5 feet. Yeah, that's pretty sizable. So yeah, Pedwin, 15 feet. The room's only 12 feet long, so you'd have to be like way at the back of the staircase.
Okay, I'll just I'll get within 10 feet then. So there-ish.
Okay, that's basically the entrance to the room then, within 10 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's fine for now.
And thus I end
I'm
my
assuming
turn.
you're going to try and pick up that adamantine a little later.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll save the stealth roll for then. So, is that your turn?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so I guess it's my turn.
It is now Big Mo's turn.
Understanding there's no holding back, I now pull out my great axe of smashing, I guess. and I very much attempt to smash.
All right, make your attempted smash. Who are you going to smash?
I'm the blue dude. I'm smashing blue dude. I hope.
All right. So you reach back and you grab both hands on your great axe and you lift it up and out of its holster right over your head.
Hopefully fast enough to surprise the shit out of him.
I am going to say that it's a disadvantage because the room is so small, but that doesn't matter given what your disadvantage attack is. So you make a horrid scraping sound as the edge of the great axe just leaves a gouge in the stonework above you, and then buries itself down against the shoulder of this dragonborn who snarls and he, definitely recoils from the impact. And again, you see this electrical energy discharge out of his nose as he looks at you with just rage, staring back into your face, even more contorted in rage. Like there's almost no registering any external stimulus. You are just focused on this blue piece of shit in front of you.
Ooh.
He takes 11 damage.
I can't really do anything else, so I guess I'll end my turn.
All right, you are ending your turn. I will say this. I think everybody is allowed to do this. You can spend your action taking the dodge action, which puts everyone's attack at disadvantage to you.
Okay. Well, I have to do my strength saving throw, right?
Oh yes, you ended your turn, so you have to do your strength saving throw. Pedwin, what's your spell DC?
It's my old roll.
14.
Okay.
Dang.
So, Morris, you take 6 bludgeoning damage, halved to 3, and you are pushed 10 feet back, which pretty much sends you right to the back of the room.
Uh-oh. Spaghetti.
Yeah, I'm going to say you are flung back to the back of the room.
I'm going to delete
you
this
slam
stupid
into
thing.
the back. You slam your back into the wall, taking an additional 2 bludgeoning damage, halved to 1. Actually, wait. I should roll the d6 for this. I'm gonna fucking do this, guys. I'm rolling a real ass dice. You're gonna hear it. It's 1. Okay.
Does that mean I take half a damage?
No, you take 1 damage. It
But
rounds up if it's half.
I took half a damage earlier.
You didn't take half a damage earlier. When did you take? I rounded it up. You always
we
round
had
up for damage.
4.5. I know, but I'd be 1 hit point better off. Okay.
Well, you know what? If it comes down to 1 hit point, then we'll see what happens, alright?
Hey, I can do 27.5 hit points.
No. Okay, so now it is
hit points.
So now it is the Dragonborn's turn. So Morris makes this scrape, and even through the now immediate cloud of dust and dirt that has been kicked up, he once again his focus is unwavering. He has found the object of his anger and is just fixated on it. Despite all of that, his attack lands, and he is then thrown back by the force of the spell, slamming into the wall, skids right past Pedwin, leaving 2, heel-width trails in the dirt as he is just blown into the wall. And Pedwin's got to sidestep just to not be impacted by this now flying barbarian.
How much does Dust Devil obscure the room?
I'm gonna say lightly obscures. If you were in like a desert, then maybe I would give you heavily obscured.
Even though it's super dark? Or reasonably dark?
There's still enough light in here to see comfortably.
Okay.
I mean, it is still like an area that's meant for people to relax in. It's not like dull in here.
Oh, the
Or actually-
cloud heavily obscures its area.
Wait, does it? Where does it say that?
At the very end of the description.
The cloud heavily obscures its area. You're right, it does. Which means your attack would have been a disadvantage anyway.
But I landed it anyways, right?
Right, because you rolled a 17 and a 16. Okay, so now it is the Dragonborn's turn. And he is going to...
He can make it to me.
Yeah, he can. Alright. So he is going to charge past his friends.
Unless it's difficult terrain because of the Dust Devil.
It's not. It does not count as difficult terrain. So you said the spell is 5 feet from its center, which makes it here. Okay, so as soon as he gets out through the Dust Devil, he sees this pink-haired gnome for the first time, and is a little taken aback at first. And then he is going to sidestep.
Huh? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And you hear him
Uh-oh.
inhale very deeply as he breathes in. And Pedwin, you in your study of dragons, you know what blue dragons do. And you immediately just try and duck, but you know that there is no escaping this. As this dragonborn breathes outward, just and as he breathes out, an actual a cloud that is crackling with electricity emits out of his mouth and is blown in your direction.
It sounds like it's moving
goodness.
really slow.
And well, the cloud is emitted, and then from the cloud is an actual bolt that seems to be conducted by whatever's in the cloud, streaks outwards in a line that courses into both of you. I need you to both make dexterity saves.
Can I just put my great axe in the sand and use it as a grounding rod?
This is happening too quick. You're talking about
Alright.
trying to beat light.
Wait, what type of save did you say it was?
Dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pedwin, knowing what's
Wait a
coming,
minute. I think I get advantage on that. 'Cause my
wait, when do you get
sense-
danger sense? When do you get danger sense?
Against effects that can be seen, is what it says. I can
Is that
look it
just
up
something you
quick.
have right off the bat, or do you earn that later?
Hold on, let me. Danger. I get it at second level. At second level, you get an uncanny sense of when things nearby are.
You have
as they
advantage
should
on
be,
dexterity saving throws against
giving
effects that
you
you
an
can see,
edge
such as
when you
spat.
dodge
Okay,
away
all right,
from
all right. I'll give it to you.
danger. There's traps and spells.
Yeah, dog.
Okay, so Pedwin, knowing the properties that blue dragons have, was anticipating this bolt of lightning as soon as he saw the deep breath in. And Morris, your finely tuned senses are still homed in battle mode, and you immediately note the unusual maneuvering. And
My spidey senses are tingling.
you're exactly, and in a bit of scientific brilliance that Pedwin would no doubt be impressed by in the heat of battle, you slam your axe into the ground, and the lightning
Yeah.
bolt hits it and seems to deflect a good chunk of the energy down into the axe. Part of it still gets through and contacts you, and your hands still grip the axe tight, and your muscles tense underneath the electric blast. Pedwin is, instead of this blast hitting him directly right in the chest, he kind of ducks and pulls out of the way, and it only clips part of his shoulder. And Pedwin, you feel your muscles go locked tight, as in with the most desperate clench that they can create. And it definitely hurts both of you. Both of you take 3 lightning damage.
Oh. Things ain't looking so good for Big Mo. Come on,
You still have like a
Holgorn.
million health.
Yeah, what, you still have 24 health?
Yeah.
Okay, so that ends his turn. So the two companions of the Dragonborn, it is now their turn. And they are going to also charge forward out of the dust cloud. And they now see the two opponents. And they are going to divide their efforts. And one is going to engage Morris, and one is going to engage the pink-haired gnome that has just shown up.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Where was the Dust Devil? Right there?
Yeah.
The Dust Devil was right about
Uh-oh.
here.
Right about
The
where?
the cloud
The
is
5
10
feet
feet.
range was around here. This, I think, is 5 feet.
Yeah, and then the cloud is 10 feet.
Wait, the cloud is 10 feet?
Yeah.
All right. Well, they still would have seen the direction that the barbarian got flung in, and they still would have seen
Well,
you as they chased him.
I'm talking about the blue dragon having to do a strength saving throw.
That distance is 5 feet.
It's 10 feet for the cloud. It's 5 feet for the spell. So I know he's outside the range of the spell.
Is he? Is he?
He should be.
It looks like he's in it.
He would not have stopped in the cloud. I would have gotten him out of the
Hey.
spell.
Hey, retarded blue dragons can do stupid things sometimes.
You don't know what his intelligence stat is, so you can just be quiet. If you would prefer there, I made him get closer.
And now you're okay. I'll deal with it.
Do you think I'm being unfair? That this person would just, I'm just going to stand in a spell. Why not?
It's possible.
It would be possible if he was a dunce, but I'm looking at his intelligence stat and he is not a dunce. Akvasoth is not that stupid.
Oh,
Okay.
fancy name.
All right, let's go. Thieves
All right,
away.
so these two dark-clad thieves are going to each make an attack against you. Are going to make one attack against each of you. So Pedwin, that is a 12 versus AC, and Morris, that is an 18 versus AC.
My
Damn, they
AC
always
is
hit me.
12.
All right, so Pedwin, you take 6 points of piercing damage. What's your AC, Morris?
15.
You take 4 points of piercing damage halved to 2.
Oh, I'm hurting.
Okay, hang on, I need to go back and check something.
I still have Little Mo, right?
You still have a little mo, but I don't think it's been loaded, and I don't think you have any ammunition. Pedwin, did you close the
I
door
do.
behind you at the top of the stairs?
The bookcase?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do have ammunition for it, but I don't have gunpowder. Because in the shop in that first town we went to on this island, I bought a bag of ball bearings.
Okay, so the two of you hear footsteps coming down the stairs that the two of you took to get into this room. And the kind of, there's one very heavy set of footprints and one much lighter one, and they seem to stop at the bottom of the stairs, and that's as far as they get at this moment.
Danger, danger.
High voltage.
When we touch. All right, so it is now Pedwin's turn.
Glad you know that song.
I'm going to switch places with the Dust Devil.
Oh!
I'm gonna move to where the Dust Devil is. I'm gonna move the Dust Devil down here.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay, so are you, can you show me what path you took to get around the guy in front of you?
I guess
Basically, you're taking one opportunity attack from somebody. It's either the Dragonborn or the other thief.
the other thief.
Okay, so that's going to be an opportunity attack from both of them. They will both connect. That is a 20 and a 16 versus AC. You take a cumulative 8 piercing damage from the 2 short swords that lash out at you as you try and run by the group.
No.
Ow. And
All right, so you've moved where the Dust Devil is. You've moved the Dust Devil to here.
There.
Okay. All right, so now everybody is back in its effect, including Morris.
Thanks, Joe.
No problem.
And it basically gets to the corner that you were hiding behind. Okay. So you move
still have
there.
an
You
action.
used your bonus action to move the Dust Devil.
Yeah.
What is your action?
I don't want to get rid of my Dust Devil just yet. I'm a little nervous of dying, though. Do I have a potion?
I think you have a potion. I think you got one from Boff. Yeah, I think both of you did, because when you first met him, before you left, he each gave you a regular health potion.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna drink my potion.
I believe I used mine at one point because I have 0 quantity.
Okay, then, alright, then you do not have a potion. Let me see, I'm just going to bring up the...
2d4 plus 2.
Yep.
Yep, 2d4 plus 2. So go ahead and roll 2d4 plus 2. Oh, sweet roll.
Oh, snap.
Okay, bring yourself back up to full.
Ooh.
Not quite full. Actually, yeah. No, not quite full now.
Oh, yeah, because of the opportunity attacks that brought you below
Yeah.
10. Okay.
And I'm gonna run and hide behind this table or desk or whatever it is.
Okay, so you have surrounded them in the heavily obscured cloud. Okay, so effectively you've broken line of sight. I am going to make you make a stealth check, though. With advantage.
Super sneaky. Good thing.
It is a good thing it has advantage. All right, so the nearest that you can tell, you have broken line of sight because you surrounded everybody in the room that you can see with this Dust Devil. You have to step over some of the bags of adamantine to get past and behind the barrel.
Oh boy, you're gonna be mad.
Okay, so is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Morris, it's your turn.
Alright, because I don't want to take opportunity attack, I guess I'll take a swing at this thief in front of me who keeps hitting me somehow. Uh-oh, I closed my character sheet.
Okay, your attack is at disadvantage because you are in a heavily obscured area.
Come on, gods of rolling good numbers. Boom. Damn. Maybe. Maybe damn.
So you, knowing the height of the roof now, you're not going to do an overhead swing. Instead, you do a horizontal swing. So from your position where you were kneeling with the axe, the hilt of the great axe in the ground, you pick it up with one arm, catch it in midair, and then latch your second hand onto it as you take a big horizontal slice like a baseball swing. And the thief just barely backs up, and it actually just nicks a very small line in his armor around his abdomen. But you can see in his face, he's just he's a regular human, no remarkable traits. You can see in his face that he knew that would have really, really hurt to take that hit.
Good. So did he back up out of attack range when he dodged?
No, he didn't back up out of attack range. He just dodged the attack, and it was like a momentary shifting of his balance, and then he regained his footing and is facing you down
like
once
a
more.
Michael Jackson thing?
Yes.
Okay.
like the Michael Jackson. It's not Smooth Criminal. I think it's what Bad. I think is that one. No, it is Smooth Criminal where he does the lean.
Yeah. Oh well. I think I end my turn. I can't do anything else.
If you do end your turn, you're going to have to make another strength saving throw and potentially take damage from Dust Devil.
I don't think Dust Devil hurt me that much last time.
I'm gonna give him a yell to run if he can.
All right, so you're going to yell out from your hidden position?
Nope. Never mind. I'm hiding.
Okay. He's hiding. All right. So you
sneaky.
don't do anything?
I'm gonna do the saving throw.
Okay, so wait. Oh, I see. You're going to do the strength saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay, make a strength saving throw. You said your
Come
spell
on,
DC
baby.
was 14?
Yeah.
Okay. So the wind is whipping around you, kicking up dust, dirt, and any loose bits of debris. It's whipped one of the canvas bags right off of the ground, and is just it smacks somebody in the face as they have to pull it off really quickly. Well, no, you know what? It smacks you in the face.
Who, me?
But you don't get pushed around anywhere, but you do take a burlap sack to the face, and you take 3 damage.
Oh,
Do I have
snap.
it? Do I have that?
What is
that was
burlap
halved, 'cause-
damage?
No, it's burlap, but it's still got a piece of the hull in it, and so he just gets hit in the face with an object wrapped
So
in a burlap
that's
sack.
the 6 bludgeoning from.
It's the
Dust
6,
Devil?
but you have it to 3.
And then I have it again because I successfully got the saving throw, right?
He
Oh,
doesn't
right,
take
it's
any
half just the
damage from his,
saving-
he doesn't take any damage if he saves.
Yeah,
Really?
do I take half as much?
He takes no
On-
damage from saves.
On successful
Oh,
save,
okay.
the creature takes half as much damage and isn't pushed.
Oh really? I thought it was
Uh-huh.
no damage.
Half as
Okay.
much.
It's half.
Okay, so
No.
you take 3 damage, and then halved again because you're raging down to 1.5, rounded up to 2. You take 2 damage.
This rounding,
I'd now be 1.5 hit points better off.
No, you'd be 2 hit points better off.
1.5. Because it's rounded up 3 times.
Oh yeah, that's right. We rounded
Yeah.
up a half 3 times. Okay. So that ends your turn. You are going to stay there.
Yeah.
Okay. It is the Dragonborn's turn. Okay. So he would have seen the gnome flee and take the attacks from his friends. And then he got hit with a dust devil. So he wouldn't know exactly where you are because he's still stuck in the heavily obscured area. And I think you had a really dope stealth roll. Yeah, you got like a 20 or something. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to make him do a perception check. Which he fucked up really hard.
Oh yeah.
Okay, he's got no goddamn clue where you went.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
Yes, I'm going to say that he is not very keen to stay in a spell. So he is going to back off.
Bitch, I didn't have any problems.
And he looks around and is just even the thin coating of dust in the air, he cannot seem to locate where the gnome might have fled to. But he does bark at his companions to continue trying to attack. He just says, just kill the fucking idiot. And he tells them to continue attacking Morris. Alright, that ends Akvasoth's turn. Okay, it is now the 2 thieves. And because they are flanking you, they're going to get advantage on their attacks.
Don't they get disadvantage because it's heavily obscured?
Oh, that's right, so you know what? It evens out.
Yeah. Wait, does flanking really give you advantage?
Yep.
Huh.
It's an optional rule, but the DM guide talks about it, and pretty much at my discretion, if you position yourself appropriately, that I think that it should count as far as like, yes, you outmaneuvered that person, so you would have a better angle of attack, then I will award advantage or disadvantage accordingly.
Okay.
Okay. So the two of them maneuver and stab at you once more. However, the dust is just kicking up. One of them, their cloak is actually pulled down in front of their face, and the stab just goes completely wild and just tings into the stonework a little bit beside your rib cage, misses by about 5 or 6 centimeters.
And the other one?
And the other one encounters nearly the same difficulty and just completely stabs wide, nearly clipping his friend in the arm. But the two of them miss completely and then reposition themselves for a second attack.
Wait, they get second attacks?
No. Like they're going to reposition for their attack later.
Oh, okay. Phew.
They both have to make strength saving throws.
Don't scare me like that.
Okay, so this guy is thrown backwards against the wall, and he takes 6 points of bludgeoning damage. As you can hear the resounding thwack of him hitting the wall, and even from your distance, Pedwin, you can hear the sound of skull hitting stone, and you know that must have hurt.
Did you like the Star Wars Stormtrooper scream as he did it?
What's the Star Wars Stormtrooper scream?
I'll see if I can find
The
it.
Wilhelm scream, you mean?
Yes. Same thing.
The what?
Wilhelm scream. The same scream they use for basically every movie.
I don't know. I think I know what you're talking about, but the other thief that is in front of Big Mo, he is clearly perturbed by this whole thing, but he does not get pushed over, and he manages to stand his ground.
Did I get opportunity attack from him flying by me?
No. That is the scream I thought. So that's called the Wilhelm scream, alright.
I'm glad Joe knew the name of it and knew exactly what I was talking about. Thank you, Joe. It's Joe's turn. No, it's the footsteps turn, right?
You can see the turn order, can't you?
No. Turn order is completely blank for me.
Oh, okay.
But
It's
last
blank for
time
you as
after
well,
the
Edwin?
last time after
It's
the
blank, yeah.
thieves. Last
Okay.
time after the thieves, you said there were footsteps.
Yes, I did. Okay. So the last that you heard of the footsteps, they had reached the foot of the stairs, and Pedwin doesn't know what happened to the other thief, but Morris, you saw him fly down the hallway that the two of you entered from. Morris, from there, you can hear a familiar female voice saying, "Hello, love," and then a resounding thock.
Oh shit.
And Pedwin hears, he again hears the dull thud that he can only assume is the hard impact of skull against something harder than skull. And Morris, you hear the hollow smack of something hit this thief once again, and you do hear the voice that you know belongs to Aya.
Woo woo.
Although it's slightly different from her normal voice because she is disguised, but you can still recognize it. Which also means that Aya has shown up.
I need to get me a fake mustache so I can disguise myself.
Okay, Pedwin, it's your turn.
I'm gonna. What is around me that's between 1 and 5 pounds?
I'm sorry?
Never mind. I'm gonna fire. I'm gonna frost. I'm gonna firebolt big guy.
And me?
No, big enemy.
The Dragonborn?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll see if line of sight on him. You're going to shoot a firebolt?
Actually, on second thought, I'm gonna catapult them.
Do you have any more casts of catapult?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay, so what are you going to catapult at him?
Actually, on third thought, I'm gonna magic missile him.
All right, magic missile away. That's automatically hits, right?
Yeah.
And there's no saving throw?
No saving throw.
He
What
just
shit rolls?
takes that damage.
He just takes that damage.
Oh, wow.
What
Okay, it
shitty
was
rolls?
collective 7. Okay, so Pedwin, he steps out and releases a torrent of arcane energy that streaks across faster than most people could keep contact with, and this bewildered Dragonborn, who now looks a little bit bloodied and bruised from this whole experience, is immediately homed in on your position because he is smacked several times in the side of the head with arcane force, and he looks at you, and his vision's starting to glaze a little bit.
Glaze and glaze.
Yeah.
And you can see that he is, he's really starting to absorb a lot of impact here, and he's starting to look around more for a way out, and he looks kind of hopelessly at the door that that dust cloud shot out from before, and then looks back at the door that he knows he took in to get here.
Which direction is that?
So the door with the
It's
dust
that
cloud.
one?
Wait, what are you asking about?
There are two different doors.
Well, so there's the door that you guys came in for. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, don't want to move Big Mo. And then there are 4 doors along the back wall. So 1, 2, and so on.
Which door was he looking at? That
He was
wanted
looking
to go
at the
to?
third one down, this one.
I'm gonna move the Dust Devil there.
You're going to move the Dust Devil to that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, with your bonus action.
Yeah.
All right. So you move the Dust Devil there. And that puts him within 5 feet of it. Okay. So the Dust Devil, this swirling mass of dirt and dust just seemingly just is pulled across the room and positions itself between the Dragonborn and the door that the rumble came out from behind earlier. And it just, the remaining doors seem to rattle in place, but the door itself that the other 4 individuals disappeared behind, it just falls off completely and then lands flat on the dirt with a dull thunk, 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 thunk. All right, is that everything you're going to do, Joe?
Yep.
Pedwin?
Yep.
Okay. So, from the staircase where Morris previously heard Aya's voice, you hear a much heavier set of footsteps and a coming through! And you hear Aya kind of cry out for a moment. She's, has to get out of the way.
Did HPG disconnect?
No, I'm still here.
Oh,
So-
okay.
You hear the very familiar voice of Holg calling out, and you hear the you hear the sound of the bludgeoning pummeling of this unassuming poor thief that has just been completely ambushed from 2 people he never knew was coming, and you can hear the dull smacks of 2 what you can only assume are big gray orc fists that are just wailing on this guy. You hear the snap of a nose, and you hear him cry out, "Please, no more! No!"
Awesome.
It is Morris's turn.
I'm gonna smile real big at this thief and take another swing with my great axe.
Damn it! No! No!
So you, recovering your momentum from the first swing that only barely missed this guy, you bring it back around, and this time he sees that being broadcast well in advance, and just deftly ducks underneath the axe blade as it catches nothing but air, just right over top of him, and he stands up and almost smirks at you.
Can I,
so you have...
Can I use my bonus action to try to kick his shin and knock him over?
No, you can't do that.
Oh,
All right. I guess I'll end my turn. I can't really do anything else until next level, anyways.
All right, and you are not within that spell anymore because it's moved.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe.
No probs.
Okay. The Dragonborn that has taken repeated impacts and attacks from every angle, not realizing that he was up against quite this many opponents, and now hearing the arrival of reinforcements that seems to perk up the spirits, and hearing his friend beg for mercy, he is going to bolt, and he is going to run towards the stone statue with the bronze platter.
Huh.
As he does, Pedwin, you see him... Oh no, he's heavily obscured. You don't see this. In fact, wait, what's the 5-meter radius from that? So you put your spell right here?
Ish, yeah.
Okay, so let's see, 5 feet. 5 feet is there. Okay, so... Pedwin, you don't see this, but Morris, you do.
Oh.
The Dragonborn reaches into his armor and pulls out...
Well, isn't the room like 12 feet across?
Yeah, the room's 12 feet across.
Then the cloud would obscure pretty much the entire room at any given time.
Oh, right, because it's 10 feet that are obscured, right?
Yeah.
This fucking spell. Okay, yes, you're right. 10
Is
feet
it?
would have...
Yeah.
All right, so
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what? You don't see anything. In fact, nobody sees anything. But you do hear a heavy, heavy scraping of stone. And then a few moments later, a very heavy thud behind it.
Oh.
And you don't see the Dragonborn anymore.
I want to know if this little guy's gonna attack me.
The thief that is in front of Morris, having heard that sound, hearing his friend begging for mercy, just drops his weapons and kneels down, putting both hands up, saying, mercy? And that is going to end combat.
I'm gonna start casting Tensor's floating disc, ritual casting.
All right, you are you dropping the dust devil, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Pedwin moves to the middle of the room and begins to...
I'm not moving to the middle of the room. I'm just doing that little corner.
Oh, you're just going to stay from there? Well,
Yeah.
You know what? You can go ahead and describe your ritual casting then.
I'm very, very quietly, very secretly preparing to pile adamantium on top of Tensor's floating disc.
All right. So you know what? Nobody sees a fucking thing. They can't see Pedwin at all. He's remaining concealed behind his great big barrel of beer.
Gold! Glorious gold! My precious.
At this point, Aya walks into the room with a rather confident stride, looking down at this kneeling, surrendered thief, Holg taking up the rear and just pulling this guy by... In fact, it's his entire head. Holg's great big hand has just grabbed his whole skull, and he's just pulling this dude by his head into the room, and roughly drops him down on the ground, and then just puts a foot on his chest. leans down right into this guy's face and just smiles a great big half-orc toothy grin. The two remaining thieves are now one kneeling, one laying on his back with a big orc boot on his chest. Morris, what are you doing?
I'm gonna lean into the. Give me a second. Oh wow, that was a big one. I'm gonna lean into the thief in front of me, and I'm gonna ask him if he has any clue where his friend went.
The thief looks back up at you and says, he could have gone a lot of places. I don't really know how those doors work. But he please don't kill me.
You're not giving me a convincing reason to let you live.
Look, Aquasalt, he just came up and he hired us, and he said that there had been jobs that were going out that were paying real well for this metal over here. I don't even know what it is. It's just we've been scouring the island, and we even dropped in by the mines out near the farming village out on the eastern coast. We were just collecting it. I don't know why. I don't even know who wants it. Something about the rat. He's bringing it for the rat. Isn't that right? And he looks down at his friend, who's looking up at him, who's just whispering, "Just shut up, just shh."
Seems like your friend knows a little more. I'm gonna walk over to the friend. How about you? You know what's going on?
The friend, who has received a pretty severe beating at this point. What is this?
That's it.
You saying that like it's a problem.
Well, normally when Joe links things when we're playing D&D, it's usually some like a chick with a penis or something.
I've only done that
I'm pretty
once.
glad.
I'm pretty sure you've done
this
it
was
twice.
just-
No, one time it was some guy.
Once it was a blog with multiple penis pictures on it, so I think that counts like 7 or 8 times. So the thief that you questioned still looks up at you, and he looks at Holg, and he looks at Aya, and still remaining defiant. She's like, "You're never getting me to talk."
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Alright, I'm gonna motion to Holg to grab one of his arms, and I'll grab the other one.
Holg nods, and the two of you pick him up onto his knees, each of you holding one arm.
And then we start pulling, tug of war.
All right, let's see. Let's make a strength check on Holg's part. You need to make one too, Steve-O, or Morris.
Am I still raging? Can I still be raging?
No, you know what? It's I'll say it's been at least a minute, and you hadn't been attacked, so your rage is gone.
True. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I am fine with that. It's still a decent roll, I think.
Well, even though you are not raging, you appear to still be channeling some of the energy of that, because you pull way harder than Holg does, and you actually pull the thief right over onto his side, and you actually pull Holg off of balance, and he clearly was not expecting quite that much force on your part.
I look back at
And he,
Holg.
Yeah.
Holg, we're trying to get him to talk.
Holg looks back at you. Yeah, and usually that works better when they got both their fucking arms. You're not gonna get much out of someone bleeding out.
You just dislocate the sockets. You don't pull them off.
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
Uh, why is intimidation a charisma thing? I don't like that. I think it should be a strength thing.
It
Well, that's why I said make it with advantage.
It depends how you're intimidating.
Actually, I guess this would be an intimidation with. Well, no, because he's interacting with Hulk, so I'm gonna say it's charisma.
Yeah, I would think it would still be charisma because you're not like flexing at him; you're talking at him.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look at my muscles.
All right, so
Hulk always tries to undermine what I do.
so the individual, he looks up, looks around, and he's definitely shaken by the whole experience, but he is still just clammed up and he's not saying anything.
Anybody have any ideas? Yelling loud enough for Joe to hear us because he has fire.
I'm still giggling to myself and casting a spell.
Yes, the casting is still undergoing. Aya walks up and puts the club that she formerly beat him in the head with the out of all the sounds of things hitting this guy's skull, Aya's club made the most sound. And she puts it right underneath his chin and just kind of pushes in a little bit so it starts putting a bit of pressure on his windpipe. And she leans in and says, "Now, don't be like that. I'm going to ask real nice, please," as she leans in and starts putting pressure on the windpipe.
Ouch.
And the thief underneath her just starts coughing and sputtering, and if he wasn't in such a bad shape, this wouldn't be so bad, but this looks like it's pretty rough on him. So the remaining thief that hasn't taken that much damage, he pipes up. It's just, what do you want? What do you want to know? Look, we're not fighting back, all right? Just, what do you want to know? And let us leave, and we can probably work something out. At which point, takes a little bit of the pressure off, and the man on the ground is he's just coughing now. He's not talking anymore. That must have hurt quite a bit right on the windpipe. So, Morris, what will you do?
I don't remember what I was asking him.
Where the guy went?
Yeah, you previously asked where the Dragonborn went.
Okay. Now I'll ask him. So you have no clue why you were collecting what you were.
Look,
none at all.
Look, when someone that's higher up than you just says they've got a job, you go with them, and that's how you climb the ladder. All right, I'm at the bottom rung. Okay, I'm just a hand.
Bottom rung of.
What do you mean of? I'm just a hand. If I want to get better jobs and the chance at better loot, I got to work my way up the ranks.
I'm gonna look around the room and say, "Wait a minute, is this a thieves' guild?"
The two of them look at each other and then look at you. Yeah, you're real new around here, huh? You never heard of the Rat's Nest? Really?
Nope. I work for the courts.
The two of them, if possible, the color drains out of their face even more. And they just seem to resign themselves to a fate that is, they can only assume is getting locked up in prison.
Or murdered by their fellow colleagues for ratting them out.
Do you say that to them?
No.
Okay.
So can I point to the 4 doors in the back of the room and ask him what the 4 doors go to? Actually, I don't have to ask if I can do that. I'm gonna do it.
All right. So you're gonna ask them where the doors go.
Yep.
Only one of them goes somewhere. The rest are traps. And if I had to wager, anyone smart would have destroyed the tunnel on the way out. As soon as someone is found out, or some place is found out, it's abandoned. The two of them look at each other, realizing that this policy, only now, may also apply to them.
I'm gonna suggest. I'm gonna go open each door and look inside each one, keeping my distance in case there's a trap.
Wait, you're gonna just open up the doors?
I'm gonna see what's inside or what's behind each door.
Okay, I need you to tell me which door you're opening.
I'm gonna start with the far left one. I'm gonna open them cautiously, knowing that.
Do I see him doing this? And I've heard this conversation.
You see Morris. You've heard every part of the conversation, and you see Morris walking up towards the left-handmost door.
I'm gonna tell him to try the second from the left.
I'll pause. Walk over to the second from the left.
What stands before you is not a door, but a large pile of rubble, and on the ground is a door that is just laying flat. No markings of any kind that seems to differentiate it. It's a wooden door with some iron banding, and there is a collapsed tunnel in front of you. The way that it is caved in, it doesn't seem to you like this was accidental. If anything, it seems so orderly that it must have been engineered, and you get the sense that this tunnel was designed to collapse.
So it is a collapsed tunnel on the inside.
What?
So it's a collapsed tunnel on the inside?
Yeah,
Yes?
there's no door. The door's on the ground. You're staring at a pile of rubble, basically.
Oh, okay. Then I'm gonna go 1 door to the right and try that one. Because I mean, when I first charged, do I remember like where the people scrambled? Because you said they went in different doors, right?
No, they all went to the one door.
Oh, okay. So they all went to that door.
Yeah, if I said that otherwise, then I said the wrong thing. They all went to that door.
Oh. That's all rubble. I guess I'll look at the statue quick. See if I can figure out how the blue guy got through it.
Okay, can make an investigation check. Pedwin, we're gonna get to you right after this.
Investigation. Check.
So you take a look at the stonework, and the statue itself, as I said, is of a dwarf. Now, there's no major distinguishing features. In fact, it looks very, very generic. What you note is there is a large circlet around its head. It's part of the statue, so it's still made of stone, but it seems to be one of the only things that creates any distinguishing features. Other than that, it's in a simple robe, and it is only half of it protrudes out of the wall. The other half is actually just part of a large stone slab.
Okay.
And there is a very, very thin outline between the statue and the slab. And what you notice in the small bronze plate that rests within the hands, there is some kind of residue or like a smear or smudge.
You said that was the plate?
In the plate in the hands of the statue, yes.
Smudge. Does it look like a handprint smudge or?
it looks like something's like it was smeared by a hand, yes, but it's not in the shape of a handprint. It's just like a big stain almost. Like there's a residue of something.
Can I try smudging my hand on it? I'm gonna try smudging my hand on it.
You smudge your hand on it, and you pull it back, and there is kind of a green-brown residue on it. And you smell your fingers, and you recall the same smell that you got from the creature that you fought out in the courtyard in the Scholar's Square. But other than that, nothing seems to change regarding the statue.
Okay. I guess I'll walk back to the guys, the two guys on the floor, and ask them, so are there any other locations where we could find the blue guy?
The two individuals on the ground, they kind of look at each other and they seem to hesitate a little bit. Are you going to pry for a little bit more information?
I'll tell them I can promise them safety from the Thieves Guild if they help me out.
Make a deception check.
I don't know if I was trying to deceive them, but okay.
There is no way you can guarantee them protection from an organization you know next to nothing about. You are lying right now.
Well, if you stick them on a ship called the SS Kidney and make them work on the ship, I think they'd be pretty safe.
So the two of them, when you say that you can offer them protection, they look up a little bit more hopefully at you. You can offer us protection. How are you going to protect us?
Well, I can protect you from the Thieves Guild, but not from myself. I can put you in the jail, but I don't know how much that would help. And I know a place where you could work, where you'd pretty much be away from everyone forever.
Oh, that sounds pretty good. What do you think? And he asks the guy that's on the ground, and this person who's only barely retaining a bit of consciousness just kind of looks up and looks a little like almost giving like a shrug, and from what you can tell, Morris, the look on his face is kind of like, what other choice do we have? And so the guy looks at you, he's like, okay, protection, deal. So what do you want to know?
Where all the other Thieves Guild locations are on this island.
Ooh, on the island. I don't know about a lot of others on the island. There's a couple of other places here in the city.
How are there no locations on the island, but there are in the city?
Well, I know there's others on the island. I've only operated in the city. I've never worked on any other part of the island. But I know there's one in the Austere Plateau, and there's one, oh, I can't remember where. Oh, it's near the Western Wall. Yeah, near the Western Wall, where there's a dead end.
And you're not lying to me.
You would have to make an insight check to determine if they're lying.
Can I make an insight check?
Do it.
Where is it?
From what you can tell, you can tell that they don't know exactly where they are, but you know that you gather that they're not really hiding anything anymore, that they are very much concerned with saving their own skin at this point, and that means that they wouldn't want to hide anything from you. They seem to believe your promise of being able to deliver on protection and a safe place, and so they are apparently being forthright and honest about these two other locations they've talked about.
gonna just sort of walk into the room to Pedwin and ask if he's ready to go.
Am I ready to go?
So Pedwin has been overhearing these conversations, and as soon as as the questioning seems to be finishing, this entire time he has been casting. Well, and Morris, now that you walk over there, you see that there is in fact a disc floating in the air, a little bit off the ground, and it appears to be like a solid gray disc just floating in the air. A little bit of kind of twinkling or scintillating on it, and Pedwin, with an enormous smile, is just loading some of this haul, just piece after piece, and he's putting it up, and he's just got this huge, greedy grin on his face the whole time. In fact, Morris, to this point, you have not seen a wider smile on his face, even after crafting Little Mo. You see him put up the last piece on the floating disc, and he looks up at you.
Are you ready to go?
Yep. Can I cover the disc with something cloth?
Yeah, you find one of the burlap sacks, and you just tear it, and you manage to make a cloth that sticks over top of the disc.
Excellent. Let's get out of here. Head to the ship.
I need to just look on the description of Tensor's floating disc.
500 pounds.
What's the size of it?
3 feet.
3 feet across?
Yep.
Okay, it won't fit up the stairwell.
The 3 feet...
I said it was a really thin staircase.
Really?
Yep, I did.
1.5 feet wide? 2 feet wide?
Because 3 feet is just barely past like a normal person's width.
Hang on, let me think about this. Okay, 3 feet's about a meter.
3 feet is not about a meter.
It's about
a meter is like 3.2 feet.
Yeah, that's still like a little different.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, I'll say it fits.
Yeah, screw you, DM.
Well, you realize that you could have taken the adamantium without Tensor's floating disc. You didn't need that. I mean, I'm glad you did it. Don't get me wrong. I love the flavor, but you didn't need that. You could have just put it in one of the fucking sacks, and you could have given it to Big Mo. There's not that much. By the time you finish stacking it all up, you've amassed maybe like, I'm going to say a total of like 12, let's round it up. Let's go for 15 pounds of various pieces of adamantium. Some of them are just loose scraps here and there. Some of it is adamantium ore. Some of it is... One piece in particular strikes you as odd because it's very, very old and very dull and dirty and dingy and stained. And there is a symbol on it that is... It appears to be like a radiant sun, and then a smaller circle, and then beneath it are two hands that are opened out towards the smaller circle, and then the sun above that.
Do I recognize the sign?
You do not. But it is definitely the largest and most finely made piece. It is also the heaviest piece.
Might as well throw the unconscious guy on the disc. If there is an unconscious guy.
He's down to 2 hit points. He's not unconscious. I mean, he's very seriously injured. You don't know how many hit points he has.
Let's get out of here.
Onward and upward.
I'm gonna stand on the disc and say mush, and then when that doesn't work, I'm gonna walk off sadly.
I really wish that you could do that. That you could like, you could like stand on it and then go somewhere. But I can see how that would be like open to abuse. That is too bad. Okay, so what are you doing with your prisoners?
I think the idea was we were gonna put them on the ship and get them to work as crewmates.
So you're just gonna walk up with them?
Yeah, either that or I was just gonna leave him there.
Well, what do you do?
I'll take him with me.
Okay, so you, Holg, Ea, and Pedwin manage to flank them on the way up. Pedwin is consistently checking behind him at his floating disc stash with a burlap sack over it to make sure that nothing happens to it. As you all make your way back up the slightly wider than 3 feet staircase,
Yeah.
as you go up and push your way out of the cellar this kind of hidden passage that you've all come up, you push the bookcase open and you start making your way back down. And standing at the end of the hall is a very upset looking barkeep. And he looks at a lot of you and he looks at the thieves that have had the shit kicked out of them.
I hold up my hand with the bracelet around it, and I say, "City business."
He looks at you with actually, you know what? Make a deception check.
No. Yes.
That's pretty good.
I now have up to episode 33 of Critical Role on the server. Just so you guys know.
The barkeep puts his hand to his chin and looks at you and his brow furrows and it's not a lot of city business. Bring someone down there. If you're taking these two with you, imagine they're going willingly?
Yep.
Uh-huh. And you see the two prisoners then exchange very nervous glances. The barkeep stands back. I want all of you out. I know your faces now. Ain't none of you coming in back here.
City business, you're coming with us too.
Are you trying to convince the barkeep to go with you?
Nope, I'm telling him he has to go with us.
The barkeep stands back and says, I'm not leaving my place of business. You want me to leave on city business, you show up here with a warrant.
Probable cause. We're taking you with us.
Make a deception check.
I'm gonna keep on moving.
Oh, I didn't keep that window open. I gotta go find it again.
Oh, come on. Fine gods of rolling.
I used my portents. I can't help you.
You didn't have to.
Oh yeah.
So that's even with disadvantage too. So the barkeep just sighs heavily, like a really long, not worry, just out of frustration, just. And then you see him walk back to the kitchen. I'll be back soon. And then walks out. Well, and kind of gestures his hand towards all of you towards the door.
All right, let's go.
All right, so
What?
Pedwin, Morris, Ea, Holg, 2 thieves, and the barkeep of the groggery
What is going on?
all leave the groggery itself. This whole ordeal has taken only a couple of hours. It's a little bit past noon. The crowds are definitely thinned out, but sun is still high in the sky. As all of you step out into the open air and kind of breathe in some of the fresh air coming off of the coast. It's much better than the damp, slightly mildewy scent of the cellar. Also, you no longer have the scent of wine-soaked wine rack to offend your nostrils. And over on the right, actually, I guess we're all back in the city now.
Gonna get the barkeep thrown in jail. Da, 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 da.
I don't see how.
He had a thieves guild that he knew about.
Well, you go do that. I'm gonna put my earnings on the ship.
Okay.
Okay, so well, from here, so we'll go with that in a little bit. As you walk out, the groggery faces one of the only remaining pieces of wall that are still standing on the northern coast of Mason's Rest. One of the towers seems to be undergoing some kind of refit or reconstruction, where it is being expanded slightly and increased in height. Also, there are more than a few structural changes that seem to be going on, and there is an extra bit being built on top of the spire of the wall. So I'm talking about right here. And there seems to be just several people working, and despite the number of workmen, there seems to be very little stone to actually continue building this up. And so, Morris, you are taking everybody to the court?
Yep.
Okay, Pedwin, you are taking your stash towards the Tidefin?
Yep.
Okay, and Aya and Hole will decide where they are going next time on...
Things.
I hope they're going with me. I can't get all three people there on my own.
Well, we're gonna find out when we launch up again.
Okay.
There's a lot of things to discover. So you've learned that there are two other entrances to two other thieves guilds not thieves guilds, but there's two other entrances to safe houses that these guys know about. You have stolen the barkeep, essentially, and you forced him into this whole thing. What else? Well, actually, and that's actually supposed to everything that's happened in this. Oh, and you know that your companion Mindardus seems to have left with Roland.
Semi-companion.
Yes, semi-companion. Seems to have left with Roland and currently is nowhere to be seen.
Wait, is he really our companion? I thought he found us guilty during the trial. That doesn't sound very companion-like.
Well, after that whole thing, he did show up and try and help you with that plant monstrosity.
Did he do damage to it?
He did do damage to it.
Alright. That was fun.
All right, we'll call it there, guys.
I like the whole doing whatever we feel like thing again.
So, this is a tip that I heard that I definitely want to ask. So, are you guys enjoying the story? Did you want, is there anything in particular you want to happen? Did you want it to go somewhere?
We didn't particularly go anywhere this time.
Well, I know, but you...
I think that's my fault.